All right, B rolls on. Jeremiah, time to break down the Utes and Cougars opponents in the NCAA tournament, starting with Ole Miss.
Yeah, I'm glad you cooled off there. You got your jacket back on. Are we all composed now? We're going to get it together tonight?
I've done it twice this week. I'm just trying to get it down like Dave Rose.
Get it together, man.
Yeah, but my family said don't ever take your coat off on TV again.
Good advice.
Absolutely.
Very good advice. As you heard earlier in the show, BYU players and coaches are very grateful for the opportunity to play in the NCAA tournament. Now that they're in, the work begins on preparing for Ole Miss. Here's what the Cougars know right now about their opponent.
Watched them play a few times, and they play a fun style, a similar style to us, and like to get up and down a little bit. They play fast, and so hopefully that plays to our advantage.
They've got a little guard who can really shoot. I know that. I think he's made 70, 80 three-pointers on a year, and it's a team that I saw a little bit of. Greg, I think it was during our show when they were playing Kentucky that went into overtime or something. And if they're at Kentucky and they took them to overtime, I think they'll get our guys' attention. Pretty good team.
Their point guard, he's athletic, he's 5'10", and they have a big man that's 6'9". That's about it.
Yeah, not much. I remember Andy Kennedy watching him with his Ole Miss teams, Marshall, Henderson and stuff. So I know they like to shoot the three and kind of run. So and they're really athletic and physical. So yeah, we really don't know much. We're kind of just letting it bask in right now that we actually got in.
We've had some time to regroup mentally and physically, and I think we just got to understand what's gotten us to this point and continue to do those things and continue to play with an edge and play together.
And I think our bracket looks good, and some matchups with some certain teams. So it's a great opportunity, and we're for sure going to make the most of it.
We'll get personnel, we'll get matchups, but focus on us and play how we've been playing, and that's why we've been winning. So just worry more about us and get us ready to play.
That's what you have to do when you only have one day to prepare for an opponent. Here's more on the team the Cougars will be getting ready for. Ole Miss finished the season 20-12 overall, 11-7 in the SEC. They have an interesting tournament resume. They're good. 9 wins over teams in the RPI Top 100. A road win at Arkansas and wins over Oregon and Cincinnati in the non-conference. They also pushed Kentucky to overtime back in January. Now the bad. Losses to Charleston, Southern, Western Kentucky, and TCU. They also finished the season poorly, losing 4 of the last 5 games, including a loss in the first round of the SEC tournament to South Carolina. Their field goal percentage is just 42% on the season. They are led by that 5'9" guard, Stephon Moody. Don't be fooled by his size. He's a terrific athlete that can jump out of the gym. Here's Ole Miss head coach Andy Kennedy on Ole Miss playing BYU.
I'm a college basketball fan, so I've seen them play. I actually watched the game when they beat Gonzaga. We were on the road somewhere. I saw it in some hotel room, I believe. Very talented. So I know Dave Rose, very great deal of respect for the job that he's done. It'll be a tremendous challenge, but we're just glad that we have the opportunity for that challenge.
All right, guard play is very important in this game. We just saw Moody. BYU has great guard play, but are they healthy? Well, Anson Weiner's dealing with a meniscus issue. Still not sure about his status for this game, but there is good news about Skylar Halford. Just a nerve contusion in that leg that he injured against Gonzaga. Sounds like he's ready to play, and he's planning on playing and being available at 100% for this game against Ole Miss. And as I mentioned, guard play is going to be very important in this matchup. Now, there's always a debate among college basketball experts and fans about who got in the tournament and who didn't get into the tournament. BYU's one of those teams with a controversial resume. It was the topic today among ESPN analysts after the selections were made.
We see this playing game between BYU and Ole Miss, and I think that's interesting that BYU's in, but a team you haven't seen in is Miami.
But they didn't make it.
They didn't make it. Yeah, exactly. And Miami had that win on the road at Duke, whereas BYU had that one win against Gonzaga.
But sometimes you have a team like BYU, for instance, they have one signature win, and at least they got that win, and it tilts the scales in their favor.
I mean, BYU's an unbelievable story. They're 1-3 against the top 25. They beat Gonzaga, right? Besides that, they absolutely have nothing. They didn't get blasted, but they have nothing. They're 1-4 against the top 50. They're 4-6 against the top 100. They've got a number of head-scratching, hair-splitting losses.
I in my bracket, and I know we've been picking it quick, but I have BYU beating Ole Miss, I have BYU beating Xavier, and I have BYU beating Baylor. And if they can keep Baylor off of the boards, that's going to be tough. But they did fight the Zags in that ball game. They do have some guys in there that can fight for some rebounds. But if they can make shots and they score and they play at warp speed offensively.
You know one team you don't have beaten? Arizona.
No, I don't.
Because Arizona is good enough to beat Wisconsin.
So, Rod, it's interesting. They bring up the point that BYU's resume maybe not the strongest or there's holes in it, but at the same time, you look at the bracket, they can make a run to the Sweet 16. Baylor's a good basketball team, and Xavier's a team that looks very beatable if they get that first playing game win.
When I saw the brackets and who they could play next, what did I say to you? Sweet 16's not far-fetched from here. BYU is probably playing, its best basketball of the season, and that's what you want to do. Coach Rose talked about that. And so I think you can throw away that first half of the season troubles with BYU. They're playing solid basketball, even more so than solid basketball. So I think that the Utes and Cougars both have a chance to get to the Sweet 16.
I agree with you. Anyway, BYU... the madness begins for BYU Tuesday night. The game tips off at 7:10 p.m. on True TV. Hopefully you have that available on your TV provider. I'm traveling to Dayton, Ohio tomorrow when our coverage of the BYU at the NCAA tournament continues on TV, radio, and online.